So the new moon in Libra, 28 degrees. Where do you have 28 degrees in your chart? Um, I feel like this new moon is really lit up and it has some layers. Well, first let's say hello to the full-on Libra energy. Libra is about um, it's about the us. It's about the we in our lives. It's about partnership, harmony, harmonizing, diplomacy, um, weighing the scales, weighing and balancing things. And I feel like when we have the new moon, first of all, it's an activation or an ignition of that Libran energy. And it kind of gives permission. It's the conscious with the unconscious coming together. So what's been unconscious can meld with the conscious. So we can become more conscious and merged or with that harmonious energy. I was going to say we could harmonize more with that energy, which is also true with the sun and the moon, and in the sign that is all about harmony and relationships. Then there's the relationship that you have to your own inner self and how you keep working on your trust level with yourself and continually expanding into a next version of various parts of yourself. We are just like a plant. We're always growing leaves and growing limbs and expanding. So this new moon is positioned in such a way with other influences that the things that the mosquito bites that you've been itching, the irritations, the not quite rightness of things, possibly in the Libra territory of your life. So wherever you have 28 degrees of Libra is where there's a relational thing that you're working on. All the mosquito bites or the slight irritations, the not quite rightness of things is what is going to cause you to move into a new phase with this new moon because there's a lot of support right now for evolution. And evolution isn't always easy. Sometimes it's irritating, sometimes it's uncomfortable, often, mostly it's uncomfortable. And, um, right now, there's such a supportive connection between the part of your blessings that wants to support expansion, let's put it that way, with your destiny. This is a time where a lot of the fine tuning of your life is going to be moved into these destined spaces, these fated events. So it may be that different people are coming into your life, different opportunities with this new moon, and in the next couple of months, also clearing the path. And one of the ways that we mostly clear the path is by changing our frequency. When we do this, we become less interested in things that are on a previous note, whatever that was. So we ourselves often change our destiny by changing our frequency. And, the planetary dance is always about the recognition that we've grown, the recognition that we're progressing. And so I think this new moon has so much support for you moving into destined spaces. And the other thing I wanted to say about destined spaces is you don't always realize what you're capable of. You don't recognize how far you've come. And the seeds that you planted maybe 20 years ago, 10 years ago, 5 years ago, 3 months ago are destined to create something in your life. And so I think taking a pause and working on a harmonious appreciation of yourself, harmonizing with the aspects of within yourself. Sometimes we fight with ourselves and we fight with a cycle that we're in, and we don't need to do that. What if you could approve of the cycle that you're in, approve of your stop or your go, approve of your decision making, your the way that you treat the opportunities that come to you and the cycles, and just respect that maybe you know what you're doing more than you thought you did. What else can we say about this new moon? The other thing I was going to say, well, besides the need to trust your intuition, which I just sort of touched on, is I believe this new moon is going to have a lot to do with your visionary nature, the visions that you really hold inside your soul that are most important for your life, that are really the impulse and the motivation, and the fear that comes up when you grow to that next space. So we've got the vision and the fear, and those are two aspects being activated right now. And I think this idea that everything has to be laid out perfectly, everything's just smooth and perfect, and that the path has nothing in the way before we can move toward what we know is right for us is a fake idea. And so, if you can allow your awareness of the things that are prompting you with the little nudges and the uncomfortable feelings toward where you know you need to go, there's a lot of support for you to find your destined destinations. Let's put it that way. So that's what I have on the new moon. Um, it takes a little while to feel it, but you should feel at least that ignition in the first couple of days, and then there's a beginning of almost the impulse to act in these new ways. So I'd love to hear how the new moon is for you. Write me a comment, send me a note, and enjoy.